EDM shit. Put some EDM shit there.
All right, hey, this is Ed the Sock, and this is a brand new video from Cronus. It's called I'm Not Sorry.
All right, well, today we have a very special guest. None other than Much Music's famous Ed the Sock. He's now got his own amazing company called New Music. I'll edit it and get it figured out. He's got his own new company, and let's hear what he has to say. All right. We all grew up watching Much Music, and it's interesting to get Ed on here. So I'm excited. Hopefully, we can get him to throw to the video. Hey, Ed, how are you? Let's get you
Hey,
connected. Let's get you connected and all ready to go. Welcome to the Musicians Insider. I'm Cronus. Great to have you on. I'm stoked. How you
all
doing
right.
today?
I'm good. How are you?
Really, really well. Thanks for coming on today. I know you're a busy, busy sock, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Musicians Insiders, my podcast. We give advice for new artists and we tell people what's going on. And I know you've got this new website that you're launching, and I'd love to tell the world more about it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to, Ed? It's been a while since we've seen you.
Well, I mean, I've been around on social media, busy on Twitter and Facebook. In fact, I was trending on Twitter for an entire weekend a couple weeks ago. Um, and I'm getting on TikTok and Instagram more regularly. I didn't do it for a while because it's just another pain in the ass. But there I am, started participating there more. And I do have newmusicnation.ca, which is a video music channel in the spirit of classic Much Music, but we we run independent music videos from independent artists, primarily from Canada.
I love it. I was looking at your station today and I saw that you have about, quite a few subscribers, but I think it's growing. It's kind of new. And I see that you're hanging out with artists and promoting their new videos. I think that's awesome. We all miss Much Music. I want to ask you a couple questions. Like, our friends are all asking me, they're like, what happened to Much Music? And I know we've sort of talked, you've mentioned this before, but we used to all watch Much Music Video Flow. And I love that you've brought it back on your website. But what happened? How do we tell people what happened to Much Music?
Well, I mean, a couple things happened to Much Music. The internet and bad management, hand in hand. There was really good management there for a number, like basically the good management started when I started at Much. Coincidental, but that's when Denise Donlin took over and had a vision for the channel, and it took some time to get people on board, including me. But once we were on board and we saw what she was doing, we're really on board. And then people saw the evolution of Much Music from its early days, which were very raw and great, to a channel that was a little slicker, but still honest and authentic. And you felt like you knew the people there. It didn't feel distant. It was like a national clubhouse. You tune in, it's a national clubhouse. Then management changed at a point, and it was bad management with no vision for the channel, proudly no vision for the channel, and said things like, the person in charge of programming said, our viewers are stupid and they just want shit, so we're just going to give them shit.
All they got was TV shows.
Yeah, and well, because in her office, all that was up on the TV was MTV shows. And she would constantly say, why can't we make shows like them? Well, we have about 1/millionth the budget, and also that is not what the channel is about. Anyway, there was another person another programming edict that said that our viewers don't remember anything longer than 3 months ago. So don't mention anything that happened longer than 3 months ago. They won't understand it.
We used to watch Power Hour, then we get together and watch the Power 30, watching it get shorter and shorter, and then they stopped doing videos. And it was something that our friends would get together and do. We'd watch video hits with Dan, all those shows. But hey, the computers, the internet, all the cell phones, and everything that has given people the power to watch a video right in their palm of their hand now seems to have taken away from the video flow aspect of things. I love seeing that you're trying to bring it back. I do feel kind of Sesame Street here. This is great. How's your love life doing, by the way, being the cigar smoker that you are?
The hell kind of question is that? Ask me a real question.
What I wanted to know was, what advice would you have for new musicians in Canada that are trying to get it going, that have an album out, maybe are about to release a record? What would you recommend that they do these days with the current state of things?
I mean, if I had the answer to that, I would have offered it for free and people would be following it. It is very difficult. The internet has made it possible for people to record and share their content, to a potential global audience. The problem is there's so many people doing it. It is very hard to cut through the clutter and get noticed. I will tell you that the videos we play on newmusicnation.ca, I am surprised at the level of quality that we get. I am surprised at how good these independent bands who are, this isn't, for many of them, this isn't a profession. It's a hobby that they'd like to turn into a business, but they work day jobs. But they put that money and effort and vision into making really good music videos. I thought we were going to get mostly crap. No, it's primarily good music videos. And you know, that's our goal, is to try to, you see somebody's got a music video with 33 views. We want to bring it to more people, so we put it on our channel. Now, you know, our views aren't super great at this point in time. You know, we're up to, you know, like, I think our top thing is about 14,000 or whatever the hell.
It's hard to get over 4,000 subscribers just to get to that threshold where you start making
yeah,
money.
I'm talking about views, not subscribers. So, but it's still more than 33, and we're still growing. You know, the other other people have deep pockets. We don't. You really need to be able to pay for advertising for anything on YouTube, for example, where our video live. You have to be able to pay for advertising. We don't have that kind of money. I'm hoping to start a proper Patreon and get that money, so that we can have a little bit. I can give it a little bit more attention every month. I would love for bands to make a video that I can share with more people. I don't know if that gets them more attention, like if it becomes worth the effort it goes into making the video. But those videos are a labor of love, so it's not really a dollars and cents thing. It is. I mean, it's great to try to create a community online. Use whatever forums you can use, all of them, to create a community. A lot of people, they don't use Facebook anymore. Facebook's still great for creating communities. You got of course Instagram and TikTok. I don't know that Twitter is huge for growing music audiences, but grow your community. And the thing is, this is easy to say, but don't be discouraged. I mean, you put the thing up, you think it's amazing, you put your music out there, and you're not getting the listens that you hoped. The thing is that when the internet was young, there was a lot of attention on people who got like 1 million downloads. Now, that was a very rare occurrence. It was often just dumb luck. Most of the things that get popular on YouTube or on Spotify Music, places like that, it's dumb luck. If you don't have a marketing budget, it's dumb luck. You're doing something that is not substantially different than other people, but somehow you're the one that everyone focused on.
You're the unicorn.
It's just dumb luck. But the thing is, if you don't put good stuff out there, you will never have that dumb luck. And also, people have stopped expecting that they're going to get 1 million downloads. The attention, the expectations have come down to earth more, and that's a good thing. I mean, the idea is, if you're making this music, sure, I think a lot of people want to make it into a business, but they love doing it. And so to them, making the music and putting it out there, it's something that artists have to do. Like, it isn't something like, pay me, then I'll make music. It's not like that. It's a drive, it's a passion. And keep putting the music out there. You never know when it's going to catch fire.
Yeah, we've been working on this forever. I've been in Los Angeles for the last 13 years, and because of the pandemic, I came home. We shot a video at the Horseshoe Tavern last summer, and I hired a crew, and they're all pro, and it definitely makes a difference to do it professionally. But now we're like over 10 grand in the hole. We didn't release the record yet. It's coming out in like 2 weeks.
Well, good luck with it. Send me the video. I'll play it.
I believe I did submit it, but I haven't.
Okay. I'll
make sure I do again.
We had a bit of a slowdown.
No problem.
Because the idea for the channel was that we had this category, VJ for a day.
Okay.
Where people could be a VJ for like one shift, and there was like 60 people that paid to do that. and I've been trying to get them to fulfill it, and they don't do it. The idea was that we would be able to supplement the stuff I do and other VJs that I worked with do. We'd be able to supplement it with this VJ for a day people. But they haven't, the information went out there as to how to do this, and it's only a couple of people that have followed it up. So when everything relies on me, and then I get COVID for a long period, everything stops. Plus, I got to make money. I can't spend a lot of time on something that's not making me money, or bringing in enough to make it something I focus completely on. So it's sort of slowed down, but we're picking up again. We just made an agreement with a recording studio called Kensington Sound. They've been around 50 years in Toronto's Kensington market. They've had all kinds of names in there. We'll be shooting there in the winter months because outside is just too damn cold. Also visiting the neighborhood business. Kensington, if you don't know, Kensington Market in Toronto is a very diverse, very down-to-earth community. It really is a community with so many interesting characters and interesting businesses. So, I'll be visiting these businesses and getting to know the people around there, making it feel more like a community. So that I think I'm starting to record there Friday.
That's great, Ed. I'm really happy to hear that. And also, when you had said like it's frustrating, a lot of people are, not so trying so hard. Sometimes they just give up. I want you to know that we are proud of you for trying to keep music alive, independent, and I love what you're doing, and I really wish you well, and don't give up. And I know you won't, but I just wanted to say that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. I mean, there are days, there are days. I really do feel like, with COVID, a lot of musicians, a lot of bands make their money doing live performances, and their ability to earn any income that way, whether it's their principal income or an additional income they relied on, it was gone for over 2 years. And I feel like these musicians really need a leg up to try to get eyeballs and get people to know that they exist. So, I feel very strongly about trying to provide that platform. Much Music used to provide a platform for artists. Now, it never provided a platform for unsigned artists. I argued with them over and over and over, said, you got to put some unsigned artists on. They said, no, we only take artists who've been signed to a record label. And the thing is, once you sign to a record label, you're away to the races. You've got support and stuff, marketing support and everything. I wanted to use the channel like one show, just one show where we play unsigned artists, give them the chance with that platform to reach people, but they refused. And that's why I'm not taking signed artists. I'm taking unsigned artists.
Excellent. Are you familiar with Indie Week? Do you work with them at all?
I know Indie Week, Daryl Hers.
I had him on season 2, episode 2 last.
Yeah, Daryl's a good guy.
Love that guy. They're amazing. They're just so busy that they're hard to get. Like, you can't really hire them because they have so many people hiring them.
Yeah.
Which is a good problem.
Yeah. No, I like Daryl.
So Canadian Music Week 2, do you attend that? Are you part of that?
With COVID, I decided not to.
Well, coming up, do you plan to do the future? There's another one. I missed it last year too.
I like to go out and see not just the bands playing, but I like to see how the crowd responds to them, and how because there's a real magic there, the connection between the performer and the audience live right there. There's a special magic and an atmosphere that is created that you can't get anywhere else, and you can't even replicate it. Like, if you record that, you're still not going to replicate that feeling. It's a special feeling that you get when you're there.
And it was fun. Like, we did last time I did Canadian Music Week was CMW 99, and we played the Bovine, and it was just fun going from bar to bar, and then they're packed and everyone shows up at, like, it's empty, and then all the people show up to see the band, and then you go to the other venues and it's just an awesome party. But 22 years later, I'm not sure whether everyone still goes to the Western Harbour and Castle, how it all goes down. But this year we're going to check it out, see what it's like. Just thought I'd ask you a little bit about that. Let's see. So I got a couple questions. So, what are the chances of getting you to throw to my video? I got a new video called "I'm Not Sorry." We shot it in Toronto. It's at the Horseshoe Tavern, and the album drops on November 26th. I would love for you to introduce it for me so I can put the clip in before we drop it at the show. Any chance?
What's it called? I'm not sorry.
Yeah, by Cronus.
By Cronus?
Yeah.
All right, hang on a sec. Are you ready? Cameras on me. Hey, Ed the Sock. Is it on me or not?
Let me just do the speaker view here. Perfect.
Is that you see me?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, this is Ed the Sock, and this is a brand new video from Cronus. It's called "I'm Not Sorry."
Woohoo! Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Do you think you could do one more where you say, "Ladies and gentlemen, Cronus," and I'll put it on before my live show?
Yeah, why not? You ready? Cameras on me. All right, ready. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Cronus.
Thank you so much. Excellent.
No
You're
problem.
the man. Hey, so is there anything you want to promote that you want to make sure I will talk about your website? I have the link to it. What do you are you on TikTok? The Sock?
Yeah, I am on TikTok.
And you know that TikTok has a different discovery algorithm where it shows like 200 of your videos to 200 people who've never seen you before instead of always the same 200 people like Instagram and all those ones. So I think it's really the place to be right now, and I think you could blow the hell up on there.
Yeah, I avoided it because, as I said earlier, there are so many places that you have to place content regularly that it's a full-time job just doing that.
Yeah.
But friends of mine told me you got to go to TikTok. I mean, initially TikTok, I looked at it, it was just a bunch of people doing stupid dances.
We have a guitarist community on there. I play guitar with people on there, and there's no people on that are not in the community.
Yeah, no, it's really grown
sick.
From its origins. And I mean, I put up a video last week about wearing a poppy, and it got like 20,000 views in a couple of days, and that's substantial. So yeah, I'll be on TikTok. I'll probably be recording something today to put up.
Awesome. Well, I know that it's probably getting around that time. We've already been almost 20 minutes or so. I'm just gonna look at this, by the way. This is my new baby. I'm gonna play this.
Very nice.
I'm with Ernie Ball, and I just wanted to share this Ernie Ball Majesty guitar that I have.
I love the way you pushed the neck of the guitar right in our face, like you're waving your penis at us. Yeah,
that's what guitar players are doing, basically.
Yeah,
extensions of their penis.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for that.
Anytime.
How many guitars are you going to show me?
This is like, I don't even know what it's worth. It's a Gibson 1977 Artisan. I just love this thing.
It's worth whatever it would take for you to part with it.
Not happening.
Exactly. So it's priceless.
You bet. Well,
all right.
Ed, wonderful to have you on, and maybe in a year we'll have you on season 3 or something. I'm hoping to do my podcast live for season 3. This is all recorded, but really great to have you on. And anything you want to say to my viewers about what you got coming up?
No, just keep going to newmusicnation.ca and check me out. It's Ed_the_sock on both Instagram and TikTok, and at Ed the Sock on Twitter. Also, I'm on Facebook where I have longer conversations with people.
I will add all of that below. Ed the Sock, wonderful to have you on. Thank you kindly. I really appreciate you. I will let you get back to your life of being a sock puppet. And this felt way better than a Muppet Show. I appreciate it. You're the man. Thank you so much.
I don't even know if that's a compliment, but all right. See you later, Aaron.
Cheers. There he is. Hey, Steve. How are you, bud?
They want to be part of it as well.
Hey, Karen. All right, let's get this going, bro. I got workers over here.
Steve, okay, so I'm just gonna, it's recording, but I'm gonna edit in about 2 seconds from now where we're gonna begin. And, should be cool. And just if you need to go, just let me know. So, starting now. Welcome to the Musicians Insider. I'm Cronus. I'm very happy to announce that we have Steve Thompson with us today, one of the biggest producers in the world. I won't tout too many of the Grammys he's won and too many of the records he's produced, but I do have my Metallica Guns N' Roses shirt here today, which is starting to fall apart at the seams. But anyhow, It's great to see you. Welcome to my podcast. How are you doing, Steve?
A little crazy but busy, but good to see you, Aaron.
I like to see that you're working. It's great to see you're working hard and got a lot of projects on the go. This has been one hell of a year. So today I want to talk to you about stuff that, instead of boring you with the questions that people always ask you about stuff like Metallica and Guns N' Roses, like we always, everyone's heard about all that. I want to talk to you about more interesting stuff like the future of the music industry, what you think is really happening right now, and advice for artists, for new artists. I want to help people out, give them things that, where they should focus their efforts, and why someone like you could maybe help them too. I'd love to hear anything you've got going on currently right now. And we can talk about some other older stories that we've had in the past as well as we go. So right now, what's got you excited?
Well, right now, as far as your question about what new artists need to do, first of all, and probably the most important thing outside of great songs is getting a huge social media presence. Without that, you're kind of screwed because most record companies will not even look at you unless you have a huge social media presence, no matter how good your music is.
And the problem with that is that gets artists to waste money on things like trying to get on all these Spotify playlists. But I think what I'm trying to figure out is where should they focus their efforts to help? I know it's hard to show them how to do social media, but like I think it comes greatly down to kind of having a good song still and having a product. And like, should they make 12 songs or should they make 3? That's one of the biggest questions.
Well, first of all, I'm not a fan of Spotify and all these leech companies that live off the backbone of musicians, and the musicians and writers get nothing and they get all the money. So I say, fuck them. And there's a lot of bands say, hey, we need the presence on these sites. And I think it's sad. And then you got YouTube. I would say if you're going to do social media, get some cool videos on YouTube. I mean, that's going to be a lot better. And hopefully you make it risque enough where people will pay attention.
Right.
I mean, I think nowadays, if somebody takes a crap on a toilet and gets 50 million views, I think companies will look up to that. It's unfortunate, but that's a sad state of affairs.
So what was it that led up to them getting those views? It was something else though. Like what it's like, so it's who's crapping on the toilet. You see what I mean? It's stupid. And trying to figure out how do people,
but for some reason, outlandish stuff gets played a lot on YouTube. Unless, of course, you're political, then you're fucked.
Exactly. It's like, don't want to say how you really feel, so you could ruin everything. Wow, interesting. So we've done quite a few things in the past. I remember we first met back when we were working with Patrizia in Toronto. That was a while ago, Steve. I met you through Dulce. That was amazing. I appreciated that, and I enjoyed working with you guys on that.
Well, Dulce is awesome. She is one of a kind and the most amazing woman ever.
And I also underestimated when I first worked with her, I didn't realize what a radio tracker and promoter, I didn't know what they did. And I was always like, why are we not getting airplay? Well, it's because we're not giving them payola, right? We're just getting it to them and you're keeping track of things. And that took me a while to figure out, but it is really a hard radio. Radio is a hard thing to crack. And even in Canada, like I got Edge 102 to play our single, KLOS, Los Angeles played it. Alan Cross mentioned it, but still to get them to actually add it, it seems like there needs to be Coca-Cola or Pepsi.
You have to understand about radio. A lot of record companies have their slots, and I'm sure there's payola involved. So for an independent artist to get on radio, it's almost impossible.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. YouTube is probably the best radio station you can get on at this point.
I feel you.
And make your video say, "Holy shit! I gotta check this band out." You got to make that video like amazing. I'm not saying spend thousands of dollars on a video, but make it where people will notice.
And I think the first video, you really need to introduce the artist and introduce what it's all about. So people get it when they first see you, they know what you're trying to do, because you really get one shot to show what you're all about at the beginning. Then you got to buy social media ads. You got to buy tons of stuff. So it's an uphill battle. And it seems like you're marketing a product that no one knows about when you first start, because everyone's an artist now. So it's so much different than when you get discovered. I mean, I'd love to hear a little bit about some of the reasons you got into music a little bit more. I love the stuff hearing that you were a DJ at Studio 54 and stories like that, but I'd like to hear a little bit about why you got into it.
Well, that's a tough call. I was always into music. I was a shitty guitar player when I first started out. I'll be the first to admit it. Did I know I was going to get into music during high school? No, I thought I was going to be an architect. But when I got out of high school, I started working in record stores. So I started getting involved in that. I was a guitar player, wasn't that good. Then I got a gig to start DJing in clubs, and that festered on to what I do now. Um, DJing in New York in the '70s was DJs in their infancy. Most of the DJs around the early '70s were in gay clubs, and I proposed an idea to put a DJ in this rock club that bands like Twisted Sister and all those other bands would play there. But I felt once the band got off, the energy of the club dropped tremendously. So I said, "Hey, why don't you get a DJ booth in there, and this way the energy won't drop." I little did I know, about a month or two later, they called me and said, "Okay, we got a DJ booth. Will you be our DJ?" And I never did it before, but I did have a good record collection. So I learned on the job. I took the gig. And ever since that, that's how I got started.
That's brilliant. I was just thinking, I was just in Ottawa for the weekend, and I remember we would go to Zaphod's and you'd perform there, but like it was all about the clubs like that. They were just waiting for the bands to get off stage so the DJs can start at 11 or 12 and people can go clubbing and stuff. So what you're saying is kind of like the live music scene started to die out, I felt, in the last 15, 20 years, where people would just want to wait till the bands were done and listen to the DJs at this point. I've spent the last 10 years in LA working with EDM artists, and it's a whole other electronic music scene where there's like, they have their live instruments, but there's like no bands. It's so different out there. And comparing something like EDC to like Coachella or Stagecoach or these other things is like such a different, like I'm noticing a huge divide between what I call old man rock and the young EDM crowd. And it's starting to split more and more. Do you see that, or do you see it converging at all, like with the newest stuff happening? Because EDC is like 500,000 people going to listen to electronic music in Vegas every year. And
Well, that to me, and it's been for a while, that the EDM DJs or the rock stars, to say, you can look at Carl Cox, you could look at a lot of these DJs. Tiesto's been there for a while. I don't know. I haven't heard much from Swedish House Mafia in a while. Skrillex, I haven't heard from him in a while. But I used to go to the Ultra Music Festivals in Florida, where you have 100,000 kids going nuts on amazing light shows and the electricity of the music. And I loved it because I felt I was part of that, because I was probably one of the grandfathers of DJing. But I was very happy to see that. Again, with rock bands, rock and dance music are totally different crowds for the most part.
well, so how do you converge it?
Well, I tried doing that, where to marry EDM with rock and make it credible. Where you have to have the great dance beat. I mean, you take an old school band like what the hell's that German band's name? Why am I drawing a
Rammstein?
blank? Yeah, Rammstein. I kind of did that with this band in Prague, where I married EDM with rock, and it really depends on your songwriting. I mean, how many bands can you listen to successful out there? Struts, 21 Pilots, Ghost. I mean, what else is out there that is making somewhat of a mark, that are new ones? And then you have the old classic bands that keep selling their catalog, and they will sell out shows. But I really feel there needs to be a new wave of, if we're talking about rock, a new wave in today's generation.
And you know what? I 100% agree with you. I'm kind of on that train myself. For example, I look at artists like Excision, who's an EDM guy. They do a thing called Lost Lands, and Sullivan King, he's a guitar player, but he's a DJ. And they're rocking the hell out to EDM music, and the crowds love it. So I'm kind of coming from the rock side, bringing it more EDM instead of coming from the EDM side and trying to bring instruments.
Well, EDM now, and it's been for a bunch of years, more house-derived music, or just a little more electronic than like old school house of Chicago and New York in the '80s. That seems to be the groove. I haven't seen it change. I mean, personally, I liked EDM when it was more high energy, where probably one of my favorite songs in the '90s was Ordinary World by Aurora. I believe it was a Condor mix. It was beautiful. It just had everything. Had a song, it had great keyboards, great everything like that. And I always liked the lush up-tempos of music of EDM, probably around 2010 to maybe 2015. And then it derived into house music again.
And I remember you were working on that.
Listen.
You were working on Game On, that track, and you were doing something with some sports stuff. That was
Yeah, I thought it was
interesting.
great, but unfortunately, it wasn't marketed properly.
And it's weird, like I wasn't sure where to go on this stuff either, but I spent 3 or 4 years literally just hanging out in EDM clubs with EDM kids, watching them do EDM stuff. And I did a lot of Burning Man and whatnot. I think once you really love the artist and the music, then it's different. If you don't know the names of any of the artists, like I had an interview with Andrew.
Let's back up a second. Let's be clear here. There are some EDM songs, but when you go to an EDM show, it's all about the beat. It's all about the electricity. I don't know how many people actually know the songs that are being fed. That's a question mark.
Okay, so I'm gonna say,
And a lot of the EDM music, the one that playing dub mixes with very few to little vocals.
I find in LA though, when you go to like Space Yacht, that's the hat I got. It's a sort of like a scene. It's basically all the kids that are in Icon Collective and other schools. And they're in school for EDM stuff. And there's like a lot of stars coming out of there, like Slushy and I don't know, Getter and all these other like just names. Like not David Guetta, but Getter and Datsik and guys like A-Track will be at the club. People like that will be there. But I noticed that it's a whole other world. And it's not about the light show. It's about the guy with the USB stick comes in, plugs it in, and the club has its own lights. It's about the person's music, and they know the tracks because they're all fans of these DJs. It's a scene. It's a real scene. I don't see it in all the other cities. Like in Canada, they're still trying to figure out how to plug in the DJ gigs half the time. So unless it's coming from Deadmau5's crew, it's never going to be produced right. But I do everything through Ableton. I play live guitar through a DJ setup. That was my solution.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's kind of weird. When I was a DJ, I used 4 turntables, and I didn't have Ableton or Serato or any of these things where you could just press a button, beat match everything, and it mixes itself. We didn't have that advantage, and a lot of songs we played, the tempos would always fluctuate during the song. So if you did a long overlay, you really had to stay on your pitch control on your turntable to match the beat and the tempo.
And that's talent.
Not an easy thing to do, huh?
That is talent. I consider that to
Well,
be like,
and again,
it's like keeping your guitar in tune.
nowadays, most of these DJs stay one specific BPM tempo, where before I would go from like 80, like reggae to rap, to like 140 new wave to 160. So
They're afraid. They're afraid.
Yeah. I remember when I had a song at 140, to get down to 80, I would shut the turntable up and go, brrr, and then hit the 80. You know what I mean? I find ways to get it in there.
My buddy Carlo would like to see that. I have some friends who are pretty good spinners. I've seen some people who do it upside down too, and I'm like, oh man. Very cool. I've been getting a little bit into using like some digital DJ stuff where I like to sample like the guitar parts and whatnot, and I use a push controller. Sure. But it's interesting to see where it's going.
I'll tell you the truth, when I was doing dance remixes, I wish I had that technology of today back in that day, because we had to be more physical with cutting tape. And if I would take an original production, I would basically almost have to reproduce this song, but keeping a lot of the original instruments of the original song and kind of punch in beats. It's not like you can just take one bar and Pro Tool it. We had no Pro Tools. So you had to basically stick to the song. And I think our sampler was an emulator at the time, a keyboard. So it was very time consuming in editing, but now it's so easy. And, most of the time when people do remixes, they'll get an a cappella song and just reproduce the whole song underneath it.
And I was thinking it's nice to have like a really well produced like Muse, for example. They came out a while back, but I think like if someone just comes out like a band like that, where they just do their own thing and it's incredible, that'll work. You just have to have a lot of money and effort behind it. But I love seeing those artists that are really artistic with their vocals and really passionate about the songs, and the material will go. It doesn't have to be a specific style. And I don't know, I think using the new keyboard tools and things like that, as long as you're not just pulling samples out of stocks, like I think it's the DJs that just pull stuff and reproduce it, and they're not actually creating their own sounds, that it can get it sounds like a wash,
Well,
and
again, I go back to BPMs. Usually when you're doing a dance mix, it's 4 on the floor. So what is the BPM of the day? 132, 128, 136. Whenever you determine that, that's how you keep your foundation.
And then there's this, because of the 120 heartbeat, everyone wants to keep it around the heartbeat. I don't know. It's interesting. But but yeah, I mean, every BPM is its own genre, it seems. But I just honestly, I just like the idea of letting the drummer change as the evolution of music changes with beats. But I'm still an alternative rock guitar player singing my same stuff, and it still is the same, but it evolves into the 2020s when you add the rhythm background to have a different kind of percussion going on. It was very interesting meeting with Andrew, my old drummer in Ottawa, talking about the drums and the gear and all the stuff. And he's a real pro, but you can see, like, as you get older, time goes on, like if you're not following the new stuff, you can kind of fade into the dinosaur past of all this gear, all this stuff, but not learning about, well, why does it sound like shit when they compress it? And can we add drums to the electronic drums properly and actually EQ it with a real producer and make it sound radio playable without having to be all so smushed? And I think watching like the old rock guys, like my buddy Jay Rustin, he's been working with Mr. Bungle, and it sounds incredible, but I see him just hating all this new technology coming in. I don't know. I'm just watching his posts about things like, what are these new drum sounds? Why are they so bad? Or why is everything so electronically not done the way it used to be? But you got to have the headroom
Well,
for the
I mean,
drums.
first of all, as far as sound quality, I think the worst thing that happens in music is over compression. Because once you add a lot of, a lot of times when you record somebody, you record compression, you mix with compression, you master with compression, and God knows what the radio does to compression. So it's over compressed. As far as instrumentation goes, it's how you record it. Every genre has a way of doing it. With EDM music, you basically have a laptop, and sometimes you don't even need keyboards. You can get everything programmed on your laptop.
You can
it's
play
a whole
keyboard on the
different-
laptop.
Huh?
You can play on the keys. I've seen a lot of those guys, like those.
Exactly.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Exactly. But I still have real keyboards at home. I have a Motif 8, which is weighted keys. I have a Trident.
Yep.
I have a Hammond C3.
Oh wow.
I have a Farfisa Compact 2 as well.
I had a DX7 and I finally sold it to a friend of mine who was a real
Okay,
enthusiast.
I always hated the DX7. Even when they're out, I always thought them to be cheesy.
I used it as a MIDI controller, so I got rid of it, but it was so cool to have it.
Okay.
That's great. Any artists you're looking at lately that you like? Anything coming out that you've been listening to?
I got 4 artists I'm looking at. I don't want to mention until it's in fruition. In the meantime, I've been
Oh, cool.
writing my book and doing another movie. And on top of that, I'm doing home improvement here. So as we speak, I have people putting in a new driveway, and they're making a hell of a lot of noise out there.
So you're getting back to your architectural roots.
Yeah, exactly.
I see that. Well, that's great. I just kind of wanted to catch up. It's been a while since we've talked about anything or done anything. I remember you said to me, I asked you, what should I do? And your advice to me was go and be James Hetfield. I don't remember if you remember that. So I went and did a record, and we're going to go and tour it now. And hopefully soon you'll see me out there. I'd love to see you at a show sometime. But any other advice for new artists? Like, it's so hard to get past that first step. I want to give them something juicy here.
Again, there's so much out there. And again, I always think that the best way to do it is shock value. Okay, no matter how good your music is, show a video of shock value. I think that's the best way to get known, because you're dealing with a lot of competition, and if you don't have a record company behind you, you better have a good social media team behind you to really promote in all social media aspects. I mean, that's the way it is today.
Very
Don't
cool.
rely on a record company to make you nut.
And so your website is stevethompsonproductions.com. I'll put the link up here. Are you accepting artists that might want to be looking to
Aaron?
work? I know you're. Yeah.
Aaron,
Yes.
you just froze. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No problem. You can hear me?
It says my internet connection is unstable.
One sec. We'll just wait till it comes back.
It's back. Let's do it before it craps out again.
Not a problem. So your website is stevethompsonproductions.com. I'll put that up here. Are you accepting people who may want to work with you, or if there's a manager or a label looking to work with the Steve Thompson? Are you available for work, or people can they
Yes,
reach out?
but I'm very picky what I work on, and I don't work for free, and I don't work on back end, And
So
I do have a manager. All you have to do, there is a form on my website you can fill out, and that will be sent to my manager.
and if someone's going to come to work for you, how far along the process do you think they need to be first?
Oh, I could hear from a shitty demo. I know where a song can go, you know?
All right, so there you go, kids. If you got an album or a demo or something you want to send it to Steve and his site, maybe you get a chance to work with one of the 7-time Grammy winners. I'm going to keep it short today. It's great to catch up with you. Just wanted to see how you've been. I know we haven't talked in a while, but just online and whatnot. So we'll keep things in check. If you got something coming out, you want me to know about it, you're welcome to come back on here. Other than that, it's great to have you on. It's always nice to have someone of your caliber joining the podcast. And thanks for being on the Musicians Insider. Get your house fixed, and we'll catch up again soon. Steve Thompson, everyone, thanks for being on
My
today.
pleasure, Aaron. Everyone have a great day.
Wonderful.
Take care, brother.
It's easy to feel. All right. I'm Cronus. Welcome to the Musicians Insider podcast. And today we have none other than Johnny, genuine Italian one from TikTok, who is the head of the Mad Men of Metal hashtag and Mad Women of Metal hashtag. And he's been doing a great job of bringing together what we call a group of musicians who are mostly guitar players and other type of vocalists and instrumentalists, almost like a support group of the real last ones in the world. Johnny, let's hear about it. Tell me about it. How did this get started?
Hello, everyone. So, like you said, my name is Johnny, creator of the Mad Men community. So I would say last October, probably mid-October, I had a steady group of people that used to come in my lives a lot, right? And, we support each other. We check each other's videos out, share them and everything else. So I got inspired by Tommy, Dombag322. He had a group called Metalcorp, but they were very loosely organized. They didn't really, help each other out so much as just wearing a tag. So I'm like, you know what? We should do our own thing. So one of the guys came up with the name Mad Men of Metal. So I'm like, that's fucking perfect. So I made the font. I did all the things and kind of ran with it. And since last October, we have grown to well over, I can't even count the thousands of members. I lost count of the countries we're in. I mean, we are everywhere, all over the world, man. And it's crazy, the different cultures and diversity of music we have. It's insane.
Is there a goal that you had initially and it's changed, or is it the same, or anything at all? Or what do you think? How would you?
Here's the thing. We're fighting against an algorithm where a rotund woman can fart in a jar and get 1 million views, right? Here we go, all of us with certain talents and skills, whether it be guitar, drums, singing. We got blues guys. We could barely get noticed. So my idea was strength in numbers. We use this hashtag together. We grow together. We share each other's stuff and comment. They can't ignore us anymore.
Well, so
you know what I mean?
Well, coming from an engagement thought line of process, because I do SEO, digital marketing, the number one thing you want to do for TikTok is what I've been observing just from my time on the platform, is to get a comment on your video. If you get a comment on your video, you want to reply to that comment. But if you can get multiple comments and show it a lot of engagement on your videos, which you do, you will be rewarded by the algorithm regardless of what you're doing in a bottle. It's really TikTok rewards engagement. So that girl that did that thing you're saying about, it wasn't because of the corporate push behind her or anything. It was because she did something unique. People were commenting about it, and she showed the algorithm. She tricked the algorithm by engaging properly, and it worked for her. So,
well, you got to remember too, you got companies like Sephora and other companies that are kind of pushing an agenda where they're buying the views. They pay extra for those people to get the views. Some of these people have like 2 million followers. It's like, how? Seriously, how? It's guys selling lipstick, or it's some other kind of crazy stuff with TikTok market.
Well, I was looking at
shops.
Matt, the comedian Matt Rife, who's doing really good on TikTok. He was like, his story is interesting because he's like a comedian who was working with another guy, and the other guy was the one that the Montreal Laughs Festival wanted. He was just a tag along that they let him come for free, but he didn't get paid. And he posted a video on TikTok that got millions of views. And that was all it took for him, because then people went back and looked at all his other videos, and then suddenly he was a sensation because he knew how to. I mean, there's interesting stories like that I don't think like you can create, but it's like there is that magic that can happen if you just happen to strike it right, like the match just right,
Well, I had somebody jump up nude in my live the other day. Maybe I'll make a video of that and see how that goes.
Well, if you censor
I
it,
can blur it.
if you
I can
censor
blur
it, you could probably get a lot of views on, look what happened in my live. Oh my God. You know, is there a Madmen of Metal website yet? I know there's a store.
Working on it. We are working on it. The domain was bought by somebody for Mad Men of Metal, so we want to do something. We got Mad Women of Metal, we got Mad Kids of Metal. So we're working on that right now. We're also working on a YouTube channel as a hub. We want to get everybody who has a YouTube channel or have them make them. I host their videos and then have a separate link to their YouTube, so everybody gets the views. You know what I mean? So we're spreading each other out.
Well, you can make a
we're on
playlist. You can make a playlist
Yes.
on your YouTube channel, because I have my own YouTube channel, Cronus, that has 6,000 subscribers already, but I'm not getting a lot of traction. You know, it's hard to grow YouTube without giving it attention. I got to start posting my TikTok videos as shorts in YouTube, along with putting them as reels, but you got to post them before they have the watermarks on them. So it's just a lot of preparation. I'm using
So I'm
Canva a lot.
What is
for
it?
that? Canva. I pay $20 a month. They should be giving me an affiliate link for this, but I use that. Yeah, it works well.
Damn, I need to do something of that nature. So we got a few things that we're working on. You know, like I said, I got the merch store. Everybody begged me to make merch, so I made a merch store, Mad Men of Metal, on Etsy.
I haven't bought any yet, but I did buy something from you the very first week, and then it didn't take. I did something wrong with the purchase, but I will get something soon to wear on my podcast.
This is so yeah. I mean,
love it.
We have all kinds of stuff, man. So being that we're only we're a fledgling group, just a year and change. The first 8 months, I mean, we really didn't get all that much traction. We got a bunch of people we knew who joined, including you and a few other people, that I reached out to. It's been the past 10 months where we have just blown up. I mean, blown up. We're sponsored by a few different, couple different guitar companies, a guitar store, a pickup maker, where they give us discounts and they kind of patron us.
And it seems to me like you're able to get access to lots of guitars, so you can do different videos about different types of guitars. Is that part of it?
Oh yeah, that's how I started, man. I just, I have a large collection, so I was like, I didn't have a lot to do. A friend of mine was like, "You need an outlet, something to keep you entertained. Do something with music. Why don't you make a YouTube?" Well, I started doing this, and it kind of helped me out of my funk, So I started showing and demoing my guitars. And then after a while, I made friends with Parker Lundgren, former Queensryche, at Diablo Guitars. And then I get to go over there and play guitars of my dreams.
I remember you were mentioning the guy from Queensryche was going to join the group, and that he did, but I didn't realize that you actually connected so much with him. That was great.
Oh, yeah. I talk to him all the time. He lets me go in the shop like a kid in a candy store, takes care of me on deals. I've got some of my dream guitars because of him. You know what I mean? So,
how many guitars do you have, if you don't mind me asking, or is that a count that you even have a number on?
65.
Really?
But they're top notch, man. Top notch. So I've upped my game quite a bit.
Wow.
I got something wrong, man. I got a serious acquisition problem. But I don't lord it over people. I love sharing. I love watching people get new gear. That's another thing with Mad Men. We have the Gear Pigs hashtag. We use that for people who have gear and do demos and so on and so forth to show each other the stuff we got. I'm a guitar player. I want to see other people's guitars. You know what I mean?
I'm a Gear Pig. I have so much gear. This is an Ableton push controller. It's used to control Ableton. It's actually the one that came number 1. They have a push 2 now. This is a MIDI fighter. And I use this to start and stop all my songs that are in Ableton.
Nice.
And then another MIDI fighter, which I just like how it looks. You can assign them to do anything.
Looks like a TC Spark pedal.
And this is my Godin acoustic. I love this thing. It's like a Martin. It's like my dad. It plays exactly like my dad's 1961 Martin did.
Godins are good, man. They're they're North American made, they're Canadian made, and they're good guitars. A lot of
I'm an artist. I'm one of their artists, so I got that for half price. I love them. They're so amazing. Thank you,
I know.
Godin.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Um,
And if for anyone out there that wants to know how to get endorsed, like make an album, work your ass off on being able to perform it live, get some footage of that, maybe shoot a video or get some live performance footage. Go to NAMM in Anaheim during the convention every January. Go meet your favorites. Go meet the people whose gear you play and ask them if you can be an artist. And genuinely they will. And they might give you a discount or they won't, but at least they like to have their gear in the field. So many companies
what
are so helpful.
I get their corporate email and I send indecent pictures of myself until they just relent and say yes.
Perfect.
I'm just strong arming like that. I ain't got time for all that other shit. I need a quick answer.
So that's
Yeah.
how you grow the Mad Men of Metal. So tell me
Exactly
more.
it.
Tell me more about it.
So I kind of consider us like the last vanguard of a music community. When we started, of course it was metal centric, guitar centric. And then I started realizing something. There's a lot of other types of music that, especially metalheads, we love all styles of music. Why not bring some different people in that we can collaborate with and network with aside from metal players? You know what I mean? So we got blues players. Man, we just got this girl from Slovenia, an opera singer. Not only is she a knockout, this woman's classically trained. Like, she is amazing. She's a mad woman of metal now. We have singer-songwriters and acoustic players and blues players.
When I worked with Steve Thompson, the producer that I do website for, Steve Thompson Producer Productions.com, he did Guns N' Roses and Metallica. We did a record with Patrizia. She's an opera singer, and it was a rock opera album. There's a cover of Creep. We did an original called On the Brink, and then did a couple things, like all these like Caccini and like Mozart stuff live. It was pretty amazing. So interesting.
Nice.
Interesting. That was kind of neat. That was a while ago. It's over now, but it was cool. That's how I got to know
So
Steve.
we started cross-pollinating. I started reaching out to different people going, listen, man, don't be thrown off by the name. Excuse me. This is going to be for all music. All music is game. And here's the thing. Let's open the doors a little bit and let's network with people you normally wouldn't meet, and let's see what happens. And, it resonated with a lot of people. So we've gotten so many different styles and different instruments alone. I mean, shit, we got a one-handed ukulele player who teaches disabled people how to play.
Now, can you explain to my community and my viewers and my listeners what it is you do? Like how when people can join a live and what actually that looks like, or what you're doing there? Some people don't know how to use TikTok.
Yeah. So if you get on TikTok and you have 1,000 followers, you get into something where you can go live. And they've given you an option now where you have 9 boxes where you can host and have 8 other guests. So what we've been doing is the people that we build up, and anybody who's open wants to jam, request a box. They'll come in and we'll take turns playing. We'll trade licks. We'll talk about gear. The biggest thing is the camaraderie part. We play some songs. We show each other stuff. We've had in one live 6 different countries represented. In one live, 6 different countries, people from all over the world, man. And how many times are you really going to see that? I'm talking Malaysia and Brazil, Japan, Belgium, and what was the other one? England.
That's the real beauty of it.
Yeah, and it was total like United Nations type of stuff, man. Everybody had a different accent and everybody kind of did their own things a little bit different, but we get together and you don't think about all that stuff. We're under the Madman banner. We're all brothers and sisters in music, man. And that's how it's been. It really has. A lot of people have told me how this has helped them, how it's motivated them, how they've met so many cool people because of this network that we've made.
I want to introduce you at some point to the DIT community in Toronto. It's a do it together community. It's basically an online music conference based out of Toronto, but it's global. It's the same kind of idea, but it's more structured, and they have an app now and everything. But yeah, I found that it's been really interesting to just go online and network with these people. And one of the things they've been really pushing a little bit, one of the guys there, Daryl, he's been on my podcast twice now, is he's all about trying to meet 4 people a day that are new and grow your network, right? So it's like what you're saying. So I was thinking about that. So I went live looking for you guys the other night and I couldn't find anyone. I think it was Friday. And
Yeah.
I met some guy from Quebec, Ontario, New Brunswick. Yeah, so Quebec is next to Ontario in Canada. It's French people sometimes. And this guy was not able to speak English, but he used the phone to ask me to play something. Now, for some reason, he had me on a battle and he was beating me. I don't do the TikTok battles. And I'm like, what's going on there? But I played music for him. And then he asked me with the translator if I could play like Hotel California or something like that. And I whatever it was, I think it was Metallica Turn the Page. And I just Googled the tab for it and played it for him without even trying. Like I had never played it before.
I do that a lot too. Like when I'm live by myself, that's where I gain a lot of new people will come in and, you know, they'll see what's that poster or what's this and that. And same thing, they'll request songs. My thing is I like to do it by ear. I don't even go for the tabs. I'll say, is this the song? Yes. I'll sit there and listen to it. And within 3 to 5 seconds, I get the gist of it enough to be able to play. So
I only do the tabs if I just need it. I generally don't say I can play a song if I don't know it, but
I try to figure it out, man. I try to figure it out in front of them and train my ear, keep my ear trained. So it's been successful. It's worked. People are like, God, man, that's crazy. How did you do that?
Well, you're a great player, man. Like, and you kind of have the same sort of like love for a certain style that I like too. So it's good. That's why I think we connect on here. A lot of Stone Temple Pilots. I'm real big on Pantera and Metallica too. You know,
not so much Pantera, Metallica for sure. More Megadeth.
Okay, no, I'm big on all that. The Pantera kind of started hitting me a little more later, but I started on Metallica. Like we were all Megadeth, Metallica growing up.
Well, I remember getting on here, well over a year and a half ago, and seeing you live riding a hoverboard and singing your songs and shit. And I remember, like, I was like, this is fun. This guy's fucking cool. I remember getting your attention, and we started talking, and you know, we kept in touch that way. And then I brought you in with us to the Mad Men of Metal. I was like, oh, I got to get this guy. I got to get Cronus. He's got to join us.
My thing was,
and you did.
I just didn't want to get the gimmick of being the guy on the hoverboard that plays. I kind of want that connected to one of my songs, but not to my entire being. Although it probably would have blown up. Cool.
I was like, how the fuck is he doing that? How is he not busting his ass? And you're playing lead. You're playing leads and you're singing and you're going back and forth. I'm like, oh, okay. This guy's
I remember hearing that the guys from Dream Theater would kick a soccer ball to each other while playing like one of their hardest songs ever. But to them, it's just another song because they can play it every time. But I mean, that made me think if you could do something with your feet, you know, I was trying to figure out how to dance and do the shuffle, but I'd rather ride the hoverboard. That's what I do at Burning Man anyway to dance. So is there
something silly?
Is there anything that we can talk about that might help grow the Mad Men and the Mad Women of Metal? Like what's something that maybe we don't know, or tell us some stories that you've got from the field.
Let's see. I can tell you that I've gotten emails from people who were in severe depression. Don't really have a lot of friends on the outside. You know, a lot of people are isolated. A lot of people come to this app who really don't have a lot of people. And being able to have a social outlet, meet people who like the things that they do and don't judge them, right?
Has safe been space.
A safe place, man. You know, no politics, no this, no that. I don't want to know your pronouns, and none of that shit applies here. No religion. This is about music, and if you connect with people, you connect with people. And you know, one guy found his son. His son happened to see him on one of the Mad Men tag videos.
Whoa, that's amazing.
You know, other people were like, you know, I've met all these people, and I've had people who told me they were close to, you know, unaliving themselves. And this has helped them meet people and not do that.
That's amazing.
And that really, I didn't realize how much of an impact we would have. That's heavy shit to me.
Well, yeah, but you and I are kind of like veterans in this a bit, like when it comes to playing online. Like once you get that fear out of the way, it's a big deal to get to that point. And like for people, their first time playing on here is really scary. So you got to make them feel welcome and comfortable. And like, look, if it doesn't work, it's not like karaoke in front of a team of people judging you.
Exactly.
it's just jamming. I run karaoke every Saturday and I use that to like work the crowd and also to learn how to like just expand whatever you can and keep playing in front of people, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing we do. We make a lot of these people who don't do it feel comfortable in our lives and give them the confidence enough to want to play. We're not going to judge you, dude. Look, everybody started out doing, or whatever. Nobody starts out being perfect. So don't worry about all that shit. Play something that makes you happy. Hang out with us, enjoy it. That's what music is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. We ain't judging you on your playing style. Matter of fact, if you want help, we've had guys who do private lessons for people for free. We have other guys who, they have extra equipment. They send it to a less fortunate person.
I love it.
I myself,
I would love to do that, but I'm not in a position to, but maybe I would be. And this is where I would send it.
and I myself have given away 4 guitars.
Beautiful.
and to a few of the mad kids of metal, who I felt had potential and stuff. And I've had other people who have donated to other people. So we help each other out.
I just lent an acoustic guitar to a friend, and then the next day their house burned down. I'm sorry, that's not the story. The house was on fire and everything was fine after.
Did you get the acoustic out?
No problem. No problem. It's still there. They can still live there. It's just, it was in the morning. They called me telling me that there's all these fire trucks and the whole place is on fire. But it turned out it was a building, and it was not nearly as serious as I was told. But the night before I lent them the guitar, I'm like, no. Typical.
We don't need the water. Let that motherfucker burn.
Right on, Johnny.
The roof on fire. So yeah,
I love the idea of going live on Fridays with you guys more. And if you want me to help out, let's get that going. Because I've been telling people to join me at Madman of Metal on Friday, and I haven't been seeing you guys.
I'll make a video stating it. We'll get a time, but it's got to be consistent. That's the thing, and that's why I stopped Fridays, because I couldn't be consistent.
7 to 9.
Yeah, could do a consistent time, host it. Make sure it's for us. It's a Madman of Metal event, and yeah, man, you're more than welcome. You're definitely more than welcome. Saturday, myself and Stray Millennial Kayla, who was, I don't know if anybody knows, myself, and there's Nick, the underboss, and Kayla, Stray Millennials. Those people helped me out invaluably. You know what I mean? Kayla does a lot of technical stuff, making videos and promotional stuff for us and networking for us. Nick is always out there, beating the drum and getting people, reposting, doing their stories and connecting with people. So it ain't just me. I got a pretty good supporting cast of people that are helping me, who believe in the same idea. That
how can we help
there
you? How can your average, like my listeners, help you?
Easily. And this is self-serving on your own. If you join the Madmen, right? Support the way you want to be supported. Comment on their videos, repost their videos, interact with people, and make it a community that you want to see. If you're not a Madman, go to the hashtag Madmen of Metal. Look at all the videos. If you like some of the musicians, support them. Share their stuff out. Comment on their stuff. Get them followers, however you want to. And then people will follow you back. It's almost self-serving. It's really that simple.
I was thinking we should do a thread, like you did with the one that everyone joins. That's a video reply thread where you just ask every member to make one video reply. And who cares? Like playing a song, like playing 20 seconds of something, but not more than 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Or make it, make it 1 minute, because then it'll make the algorithm. It has to be 1 minute and 2 seconds long or something. But that would be awesome. I think that would be like an introductory post where everyone just says, "Hi, I'm so and so. I like to play this type of music. Feel free to reach out to me if you want. Here's my handle, and I love being Madman of Metal." Just something like that. That'd be amazing.
We've done that videos where we've had an amalgam of different players with their names and so on and so forth, and we put it out there so people can find them. The best way to do it is just hit the hashtag.
Well,
go search.
I'm just coming up with a thought that maybe it'd be cool to make a new post where we all, because like I'm noticing what I do now when people comment is I do a video reply. I don't comment back. I video reply on everything that I possibly can. And I'm just thinking it might be neat to do a post where everyone has a video reply where we all introduce ourselves.
That could be, or I could, introduce people with a video reply when they comment on the video and say, hey guys, here's our new such and such. And, because it's tough. I have to share out videos and get them, the new people out there, to get them their core people. And with the ad list that I've made, you should get to 1,000 pretty much almost instantly. So,
And yeah,
that's
explain
the
how
big-
that works. So you have a post that's at the top, it's pinned.
Yep, it's the first post on my page. It's pinned and it's for members. Nobody can see it unless you're friends with me, for a reason. Once I bring you in, once I explain to you kind of what we're trying to do, and you're on board with what we're trying to do, and I take it very personal because I'm running this, so I want it a certain way. There's a vision that I have, so I try to make everybody understand that. The first post is a whole list of people who comment, hey, I'm such and such, thanks for letting me in. They'll add everybody else who commented, and they'll comment, add, new people will come, and we continue it going. And I think that post, I think we have well over 1,000 people on it.
Well, the
so
thing
you
is,
should
so
be able to
but
follow this quickly.
I need to go back and re-add all the people that are new. And it's almost like if we need a better way to almost do that. But I was trying to figure that one out.
It's tough. The thing is new people will start adding people. Old people can go back and check the list of people they've missed. I can't do it all, man.
Well,
you know what I mean? People
do you frown upon, or do you encourage someone like me to go in and comment again at the bottom? Because I don't want to be in the list twice, but is that okay?
I would rather not, because then it's the same people always.
But
You
when it
can
gets
always
to
see
you,
who-
it'll just say
Yeah.
added. The thing is, if I'm
Yeah.
in that list 3 times, I'll get more followers. So I haven't done that, but I'm just saying I would do that if you thought it was like, it might help a
Yeah.
bit.
Just go through the list and you can see if you're friends with somebody or not. If you're not,
Right,
just add them.
But I'm saying if I'm way at the top, all the new people might start just adding the bottom first, or one of the other ways around. Trying to figure out how to do it in a way that's effective, right? TikTok's so
There's
weird. What
there's
I
no
do?
way foolproof.
So what I do to add new people for discovery, I go into the TikTok has a screen that's in the live section in the back end, and it says and under the creator tools right there, I go to live, you hit the live at the top, and then I go into suggested creators right there. And then what I do is I follow them, because these are all people who have more than 1,000, and that means they're real. They might join your live, they might interact with you, and so I just follow them all, just whatever, and then go back to here and just hit suggested creators again and get a new list of them.
Well, hopefully they're musicians, though. You know what I mean? Whereas my list.
Oh no,
they're
this is
all-
just a way to grow your TikTok and expand it. And then
Yeah, well-
you filter it later. I'm just trying to grow unrelated to your hashtag.
Yeah, I mean, because for us, we grow on our own separately, and like friends of our friends, everybody brings their own group of people that they brought, and you wind up getting a lot of people residually from other people. And everybody who's on the list has been, verified by me. Nobody just joins without talking to me, and I get to know them and know a little bit about them. So, you know what I mean? Everybody's been bona fide and verified that I know they're real, and they're good to go.
So when you
once
say
they
join, when you say join, that means that you've accepted them as a friend to you.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
accepted them as a friend, given them the hashtags, right? I give them the link to the video now, and they go comment on it. I give them the tags. I tell them what we're doing, what I expect, and what I want. And there they go. They go and comment. They add everybody else. They make a video with the hashtags. They tag me in the first one, right? So then I share it out with a whole shit ton of people.
So
So they start getting a core of people.
Johnny,
And
so
then those people hear him out.
when is the first Mad Men of Metal hashtag live show at a venue?
At a venue?
Yeah.
Shit. We have talked about it and bounced it around logistically. That is so hard.
Well, here's
We
what I
have
think.
to do
Do a
three big
tour.
places.
Do a tour, but it's not a bunch of people on the road. It's just in each city. It's the local Mad Men doing it.
That's something we've talked about, and that would be insane. That would be so insane.
All you really
Like, it's
are
the whole
asking
group.
people to do is book a show and use the Mad Men sign. That's really all you're asking them to
Yep.
do.
Well, play and get along. But, you know, money being tight as it is and people with time and everything, who knows how that's going to work. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to be able to travel and meet people. You know what I mean? I would love to get along and hang out with some of the people here. I would love to go to other countries. I used to live in Italy. I would love to go back to Italy.
So, but are these types of things that you've like been planning, or like what kind of future?
Kicking the ideas around. Right now they're just in the talk phase. You know what I mean? There's not anything concrete. Also, we've had guys. We have John Smith. His band is called Social Arsonist. They were on tour in Chile. Well, we have a madman down there in Chile, and they met up. He's native to Chile, and then they got to meet. We've had other people who have been on tour and have gotten to meet each other as well. So we've had plenty of people who have networked and met each other through Mad Men specifically. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully more of that, not to mention the collaborations of music. We've got people from all over the globe right now making songs together because of the Mad Men, and they're putting out music. We've had 4 bands spawn from this, where
Maybe
they
you
connected and they started band.
Is there a Spotify Mad Men metal playlist yet, or a playlist on any of these?
Yeah, there is. Nick, the underboss, has it on his page where we got everybody's Spotify. Add yours, and then you add everybody else's. We've worked on that too to try to get everybody to grow each
So
other's stuff.
I've now got 16 Spotify followers.
Yep, go to Nick's page, and you'll see the list there. Also, what I've been telling people to do is when you make videos, right? Say it's something where you need background noise for whatever, use one of the Mad Men's music and spin it on TikTok. Like I've used your music as background for a whole bunch of shit.
And I
And
appreciate
other
that.
people, you know,
I'm trying to get
So
people to
so
use
it-
every track from my
Nice.
record. It's like they only use the same one. It's like, can you get people to, like, we should tell the community, hey, go through someone's discography and just use random tracks from it where it works.
well, you know,
Mess with the
they're going to
algorithm.
do what they're going to do. I don't like being bossy and telling people all the time what to do.
No, 100%. Just make suggestions, like challenges, like the,
Exactly. Just, you know, hey, this would be a good idea if you guys wanted to do this. Hey, this might work out if you do this. I don't want to come across as bossy. This ain't a job. You don't
it
have to
isn't,
pay
but
nothing
it
to-
would be good to have initiatives that align with, like, it's March, like a March Madness hashtag or something, a Metal Madness, and then it's April, maybe an Easter thing, or just something that goes along with what's going on.
Well, it's March Madness, so I think everybody, including the females, should grow a mustache. You know what I mean?
November.
We'll have the Mad Men. We'll have the Mad Men, Mad Women mustache thing. Yeah, for November or March, we'll do something like that.
The Mad Men of November.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Maybe April, for spring, everybody's got to shave everything completely off.
But I like the idea of a challenge where you just ask everybody to play a Metallica song and see what they do, or ask everyone to play.
We've done that, and we've done Pass the Pick, where we'll
cool.
play, and somebody will flick the pick, and the other one will pick it up. We've done collaborations of that. We started songs and then went. We've done a lot of that.
That's cool.
And it's turned.
That's
turned
really
out
cool.
really. Matter of fact, I just did one. I started out with a Sabbath song.
What? Sorry,
So now
1
it's
second.
making-
1 second. What's that?
Going to bed. I can't.
I'll be done in like 5 minutes. I'm just on a Zoom. I'm running a podcast. No worries.
Yeah, I'm doing a podcast. Get your ass out of here before I touch your wiener.
All right. Sorry. Where was I? What were you just telling me?
I just did a Sabbath song
Yeah.
that is going to be passed around to about 5 or 6 different musicians, and they're going to duet it. So
What
we're going
song?
to do a whole big collaboration.
it
Sabbath,
Children-
Bloody Sabbath.
Oh, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Nice.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
is it
Oh,
Children
yeah.
of the Grave? I'm a huge Randy fan.
I'm doing that one next. That'll be another one I do.